Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here to do a very raw vinyl update where I talk about a bunch of recent additions to my record collection, which you see in all of the videos. It's always there. It's always right there. So we're going to talk about what is going into it right now. And yeah, that's it. You know, always adding new stuff to the vinyl collection. And also down there in the description box, I will put a link to a playlist where you can watch my other vinyl collection videos and see the other records that are in this massive hulk of a collection. This thing is actually getting pretty full down here. I'm like filling up more cubbies than ever in this thing. And they just discontinued this shelving model not too long ago. So not sure what I'm going to do. Advice on what to do in the comments, please. Thank you. All right, let's, I can already see somebody typing, "Sell all your records, idiot." Thanks. All right, so let's just get straight into it. First off, I want to give a shout out to local artist over here, local Connecticut artist Daphne Lee Martin. If you're on the lookout for some singer-songwriter stuff, some folk music vibes, then look up this record. It is Frost. I believe this is her latest full-length LP, or she's just about to drop another one. But I think she put this one out last year, if I'm not mistaken. So Daphne Lee Martin, I will put a link to her music down there in the description box. She actually runs a record store in the Connecticut area called The Telegraph. And she passed me that record of hers, so wanted to give her a shout-out. All right, moving along. Let's go into a very heavy recent edition. A lot of metal, a lot of jazz in this one, in this vinyl update. So, you know, for those of you who are into that sort of thing, get excited. Boom! Electric Wizards, Dope Throne. Listen, if you're not a Satanist and you're not a bong smoker, don't be like me and assume that because the devil is smoking a bong on the front of this record that it's not necessarily for you. The riffs on this thing are awesome. The production is heavy. It's just distorted. It's just thick. It's massive. The vocals are just so they're distorted as well, and just have a really aggressive tone to them. And the grooves, man, the heavy, slow, monolithic grooves on this record are great. You know, if you're in the mood for some really heavy, massive doom metal, then do look into this LP. And we have lyrics here as well. We Hate You. Great, fantastic song title. And I love the you know, obviously with the cover we have kind of a shiny finish on the cover, and I love the labeling on the record itself, how we kind of have like this silver labeling on the LP itself. It's a double LP. It's a double LP, and I already showed you guys the gatefold. You all know how I just, you know, love a good gatefold, and I love the very slippery black sleeves that come with this as well. Just really nice finish on everything. Really nice packaging with this double LP here. I don't know what sort of, you know, if that's a new pressing or an old pressing. I mean, I'm sure it's a more recent pressing of the record, though I know the record isn't that old. But there you go. Electric Wizard, Dope Throne. If you're looking for some doom metal, look up to that. And I know this is definitely a reissue, but it's also some more doom metal. Sleep! Dope Smoker, y'all. Dope Smoker. Oh, what the hell did I do here? Dope. Did I say Dope Smoker here or Dope Throne? I hope I said Dope Throne. I don't want to mix those two things up. The doom metal fans will have my ass. So Sleep, this is a reissue of their quintessential hour-long song album, Dope Smoker, reissued through Southern Lord, and really nice, beautiful, I mean, freaking beautiful packaging on this thing. I just love the figures that they put on here. You know, many of you may be like, oh, why don't you get the original, or, you know, buy the original for a really high amount. You know, I trust Southern Lord to come out with a good re-recording of this record, or, you know, good recording of this record. And I trust them to come out with good packaging as well. And I mean, I prefer this image over the original image of the original pressing of this album. I mean, this is beautiful. I just love this desert mural, and it opens up into a beautiful purple gatefold right there, you see like the shiny moon and everything. I mean, they really put it all into this thing. And there's some beautiful sleeves on this thing too, which actually, if you like look at them, if you look deep into them, it's like this really meticulous write out of the song Dope Smoker on this album. You know, you have Sonic Titan Matte ×1, Sonic Titan All ×4, Hotel Room All ×4, 12th Solid Riff Matte ×2. It's just this really meticulous write out of each riff and section of the Dope Smoker song, which I think is a great thing to add into this packaging. You know, if you're somebody who's like really interested in the history of this song, of this project. So, you know, I think Sudden Lord did this project, did this repress a lot of justice on this thing. There's like a nice little photograph insert that comes with the record as well. And I know that as far as like the repressing color, I got the black. You know, I know there were other colors in this repressing. Unfortunately, I did not get a crazy color, but it's still a wonderfully thick record. I actually have not put this on my turntable yet. I'm kind of waiting for a free hour to listen to this song. Although this record is just thick, and it is like skin tight inside of this sleeve over here. Trying not to put my fingerprints all over the freaking thing. But there you go. There you go. Sleep. Dope Smoker. I know some of you neo-psych fans are going to be going crazy over this next gatefold that I have with me. Oh, don't want to misplace anything. Pretty straightforward here. Animal Collective, Strawberry Jam. Got this in a trade, I believe. Yes, I did get this in a trade. So thank you for trading with me. I traded a few records that were in the collection for this. I have not actually played this pressing that I have here right now, though I have already, I've had for a while a digital copy of this album. Just never had a physical LP copy of it. So like I said, have not played this on my turntable yet, though I do like this really strange art. Just really watery, abused strawberries that look all slimy and disgusting. It's definitely unsettling to a degree. Lyrics right there, looking nice, looking wonderful. Yeah, you know, just like a really nice, straightforward gatefold package. Shiny, as you can see. Maybe, you know, with it being so white, maybe I would have liked something that was like more of a matte finish or something like that, but whatever. It's just like a picky ass thing. Doesn't really matter. I'm sure it's still a great record. All right, next, The Knife, Silent Shout. Have I showed this one before? I don't think I've had. I've had it for a little while, but I hadn't gotten a chance to put it on the turntable when I first got it, so I don't think I did this one in a vinyl video. So yes, it's not a gatefold, but it does have a lot of record in there. It's just a single huge sleeve. And you know, if you're not going to do a gatefold, I do like to know that I do have room to put the records into the sleeve, and I'm not going to be dragging them out and just pulling them out or ripping them or anything like that. I'm just really complaining about packaging throughout this thing. Now, I do have two sleeves here that come with the record, though the records were not in the sleeves when I got it. They were just kind of sitting outside of the sleeves, inside of these white sleeves. Maybe I'm supposed to pack these white sleeves in the black sleeves. I don't know. Maybe these black sleeves are just like optional if I really don't want to use them and I just want to keep them in good condition or something. Then I don't have to. We have lyrics on both sides of these things, and on the other side we just have Silent Shout written very tinily in the middle. So, and I love the finish of these sleeves. You know, just very beautiful texture going on right there. And the records themselves, I mean, they play great. They're in fantastic condition, as they should be since they're new. And, you know, just like a really nice, straightforward black double LP right there with The Knife, Silent Shout. So if you're in the market for some electronic, pop, but with a very dark tone to it, because this is definitely the darkest project I've heard The Knife put out. If you're looking for some electronic pop music with a very dark, moody tone to it, then I would look into this record. You know, this record was pretty much the precedent for what Fever Ray did on her self-titled LP, which was my favorite record of 2009. So if you're looking for something that does go down a moody road like that, then I would say look into Silent Shout. Next, classic for a lot of you, pretty obvious, pretty straightforward. OK Computer, Radiohead. A lot of you saw it back there a few reviews ago. This was in a trade as well. Somebody traded me this. Oh my God, who would trade away Radiohead's OK Computer? Somebody who didn't think it was amazing. I mean, maybe they just thought it was okay. You know, whatever. A lot of people ask me, and I'm just going to say here, I do prefer Kid A to this record, just because I feel like Radiohead obviously went down bolder territory on Kid A, though there are some damn good songs on this thing. And this is definitely a point in Radiohead's career where, not that I heard this on the Bends or their debut album, but there's definitely a pretty obvious Pink Floyd influence going on this LP. Whereas when Radiohead went into Kid A, you know, that's a record that I could definitively say, you know, that's Radiohead being Radiohead, and not much else. In terms of this really awesome fusion of art rock and electronic music that many of us know them for. A lot like what I was assuming was going on with that Knife LP, we do have, you know, sort of very colorful, detailed, artful sleeves that are in the record itself, and packed into these colorful sleeves are just simple white sleeves that hold the album. And I believe there's something like really funny, cute, playful on the labeling of the record itself, rather than it saying side A, side B, side D. It says eeny, meeny, miny, and mo. As far as the sides, yes, it says this is side meeny, and this is side eeny. So that's cute. That's cute. That's precious. I like that sort of thing. It's nice. So yeah, I would pull the records out. I mean, they're just standard black records. You know, nothing incredibly amazing about them. You know, they play great. They sound great. So, you know, no complaints on that end. But, you know, I would pull them out, but these sleeves are just freaking hard to put in these other sleeves. Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing that. I don't know. Just don't get mad at me. Next. The Baby Huey story, the living legend. The Baby Huey story, the living... Yeah, I mean, it's Baby Huey. He's a soul singer who... I mean, when you read the liner notes of this record, which has a bunch of information on him, you know, you see that his rise to fame wasn't exactly, you know, well, not necessarily rise to fame. What I mean to say is that, you know, he had an untimely death, which is essentially what this record, you know, lays out in your face as soon as you open up the gatefold. So... And the reason I looked into this record initially, you know, I didn't buy this sort of on a whim, you know, I knew what I was getting into, is because I've had a digital copy of this record for a while after buying some songs off of it that I knew were really popular hip-hop samples. And looking into those tracks, I found that these are really great soul tracks with great drum beats, fantastic horn sections, and just a really... great voice. I mean, Baby Huey, while, I mean, he wasn't the greatest soul singer ever to live, he certainly had a lot of personality, and if you are into soul music, you know, he's definitely worth looking into. And beautiful red record right here. Did not even know this was red when I was getting into it. So, really psyched about this. I just love this thing. It's such a bright, beautiful red. It looks wonderful on the camera, and it looks wonderful in front of my face. So... if you are interested in not only great soul, but music that is known for its sampleability in the hip-hop community, then I would look into this album, Baby Huey, Living Legend. Moving into a little bit of jazz in this next array of LPs here. Yeah, not a lot to say about these other than that. If you're looking to get into jazz, you know, these are obviously all reissues, so there's nothing like particularly special about these particular pressings. But if you are looking to get into jazz, I highly recommend any of the LPs I'm just about to show you. Boom! Art Blakey, Jazz Messengers, Moanin'. Art Blakey, one of the greats when it comes to jazz drumming, and a lot like Miles Davis, Art Blakey would use the Jazz Messengers as kind of a project of his to collaborate with a slew of other artists. You know, he would just take on different artists with every record a lot of the time, people who he saw sort of just being great at that time in jazz music, or people who he saw as being sort of on the come up, and came out with some great records, not only this one, but Caravan, for example, another favorite of mine with him. So if you are looking to get into jazz in general, you know, especially this 50s, 60s, 70s trio, quartet, quintet, jazz, bop, so on and so forth, cool, then I would look into Art Blakey's Moanin' right here, especially if you want a record where you can really focus in on the drumming, because of course with Art Blakey's Jazz Messengers, that is one of the key components. Not that jazz drumming is weaker on other records, but I mean, you know, he's known for his drumming. He is a fantastic drummer. Next, I'm trying to think of another jazz drummer to recommend you that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. I mean, no, never mind. I'm just going to keep going on. Next, Roland Kirk's I Talk with the Spirits. This record of his is one of his flute records. Roland Kirk was a master of numerous woodwind, horn, reed instruments, but this is one of the moments when he really focuses in on his flute abilities. And Serenade to a Cuckoo is the opener on here. One of the best melodies in jazz music, in my opinion. And there are records that he's done. I think over the course of his career on LP, he's done at least a few renditions of that song. And this is not my favorite, but it's still a great song. And yeah, you know, I mean, he's had sax records. He's had records that have a multitude of different reed instruments on them, but if you specifically want to listen to his flute stuff, I would recommend this record. So, Roland Kirk, I Talk with the Spirits. There we go. And finally, Sonny Rollins, Saxophone Colossus. Cool? Cool. So, you know, again, another very straightforward reissue pressing. Record is great, prestige. Love the labeling on there and the clear sleeve. And, you know, all this stuff just sounds great on LP. You know, the truth is that a lot of records like this, like these jazz records that were recorded in this time period, you don't need a whole lot in the way of fancy packaging when you repress them, because, I mean, the appeal of buying them on record is that they were recorded analog back in the day, and that's just really how they sound best. So, So there you go. Saxophone Colossus, Sonny Rollins. And finally, I'm going to end this video with this Deerhoof record, Apple O. I actually saw this band live recently over at the Space in Hamden, Connecticut, where they played a bitchin' set. And just bought this copy of this record, I believe, for $10. You know, I mean, always bring money to shows to support the artists that you love, so that you can just give them some money for a record that you can probably buy cheaper from them than you can online or in a store or anywhere else. We have lyrics, obviously, on the other side of that insert that came with a bit of interesting, strange art. And, you know, if you're looking for indie rock and indie pop with a really quirky, idiosyncratic edge, then I would get into Deerhoof. And some really strong guitar and drum playing, too. I mean, you know, that's the thing about Deerhoof. There are a lot of indie pop and indie rock bands out there, but they are strong players, especially their lead guitarist and especially their drummer, Greg. Just fantastic players, and they're really tight playing together, too, and just really off the wall. And this record is blue. So, wonderful blue shiny color, which you can actually kind of see the camera in it right now. And yeah, you know, that's it. That's it for this week's vinyl update. So, what records have you bought that recently made it into your record collection? Again, thank you to those who have traded me some stuff so that I could feature it in this vinyl video. And hopefully I will have more records for you soon to talk about and show you that have made it into this collection. Hopefully you get some interesting recommendations for stuff based off of what I have just placed into the record collection. And yeah, that's it. Transition, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. I love you forever.